We're back. It was lovely for a minute. I'm gonna give it like a few seconds. If I need to start over, I will. Okay. Hopefully that should have done the trick. The angle's a little bit weird, but alright. This is just kind of like, I don't know. I'm gonna put this different. We're only like 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in. Well, two. And my mind is a lot faster. But I'm gonna make this like this video light, but like in deep thoughts of how I'm actually looking at this. So it's kind of like a video diary, I guess, just venting. I don't know who I'll be venting to or who's joining on and watching this, because like this could be a collective information, meaning we communicated telepathically throughout time. So I'm just, not only if I'm answering your question in spirit form, but I'm also answering it in your reality, because this is what you may be encountering on. So let's keep it light, shall we? I would light up a candle, but I can't. I'm just visualizing myself lighting up the candle, and y'all, well, I guess you can put it like this way. Y'all are the wick, and I'm the flame. I'm just trying to enlighten you on your path, or not enlighten you, but like give you confirmation that maybe others are going through the exact same thing. I think my higher self tends to speak a lot lower than the one that's questioning everything, because like throughout the day we only exist in our higher consciousness. Like there's been moments in your reality where the codes that are designed in your matrix gets to be activated, and it's through going through all going through your own consciousness, the one that only just exists in this present moment. When you allow that, it starts to activate a spark. Um, how do we get that spark? What's driving that spark to have imagination that is pretty active in your reality? So um, when you're just a viewer of the of your reality, your imagination. Okay. Um, you gotta like you gotta act like it is a dream. It is only just a vision. So that way your mind can play it like like a clip, like a movie, or just something for a short moment for you to get it activated. The vision how to activate that part in your imagination. Your imagination is the coding of you in that time already doing what it is that it's doing and 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 like where you are. It's is you doing it in a different dimension, in the same dimension with a different frequency. If you use all of the frequencies that you experience within this reality, the half of you in that vision is already going to take place for you to create a portal for you to enter in a timeline. But that timeline is kind of telling us it's not the end of our future, it is the beginning of our future, and is also another past version of us already experiencing it. So when we enter, it's going to feel like we already done it before. When you are already in that moment of doing it before, that's when the imagination, the frequencies, the energies that you use within this reality gets to be multiplied. But there's stages of dimensions we go through. We go through the physical, which is the first dimension. We go to 2D, which is the animal, the planet, knowing that you are a part of something. That's when you enter the third dimension. That is creation. You get to create. But the fourth dimension is also known as the field, the void. The it has different chakras within it for you to operate from. Like when you're in the third and the fourth is kind of like the lower aspect realm of you in that consciousness. It's like there's an image of yourself as a god there. It that image of that god represents a certain timeline within that dimension you woke up to, or you divinely chose to create to experience. What is this avatar, the one that you're looking in now, the one that you are seeing me through your eyes now, versus the avatars that are in your dream state? I'm only using what you can remember of my past. So that's what I look like. Your ancestors do the same thing. They sometimes come to you in the form of a archangel, a archetype. A archetype is in the right above 5D, like five dimension, the fifth dimension, or right when you get to the Christ-like consciousness, which is in the ninth dimension. but you're not naming it. This is not you naming it. This is what your experience is naming it. Think of the moments of time when you had trauma, right? When 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 trauma comes, right? It can push you from north, south, east, or west. But when you're on a scale, depending on where you're waking up in your consciousness during the trauma, can kind of identify which direction you was either born from, graduated from, died, reincarnated, or, you know, all the above. All the answers, all the questions to answers lies within that. And when you think of your consciousness and these dimension, the atoms within you tend to imagine itself on its own frequency, or the Eve within you tends to imagine herself on its own frequency. The goddess version of you tend to match itself on a higher, different frequency than what all of you is imagining. That is the supreme of you. That is the identification that you recognize, that you can embrace and keep barking on the journey. There's no stopping as one's journey. The journey continues even after death. Even when you're in death is even more imaginative because death is in the fourth dimension, but it's also a place of the ninth dimension when you look at it unconditionally with love and light. But if you look at it all of the above, like like as below, so above, you you have this consciousness that is called the, I don't know. It's, they want me to say it, but then I don't know how many people are collectively conscious at this time. Like 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 feel embraced to be a part of something that is conscious. So you you tend to like go back and forth between not knowing who you are and knowing who you are in the moment. Is because certain people have codes of you that you don't know about, that they can manipulate your north, your south, your east, and your west. And when you try to guide yourself back into a reality that you are familiar with, the current you that is woken now has to get lost in a galaxy and attempt to almost feel like that reality is set. But nah, this version of you now is somewhat like gates keep you a little bit from you knowing what its true path is designed for. But like we break out of this every moment we get. We subconsciously tell ourselves this is the moment of who we are, what we represent, and how we are, not what others project onto you or consciously think of you. You can always change it when you as they see you as by changing what you saw, what they envisioned, what you wearing, how you ate, um, just the first dimensional version of you that was just only surviving. But now that version of you that was just only surviving knew that there was much great power out there for you to go seek. It was much more to this realm that we're on right now, just waking up every day, going to work. Some of us go to school. Some of us just repeat days outside of time at a matrix to break the cycle of what's been looped and bound to this earth for us to exist now. And that is trying to be in their imagination. Not only just feeling it, wanting it, desiring it, is actually living it consciously like a god would or a goddess would. But some of y'all just don't have that ability, don't have that gift. I don't know, maybe the ancestors of you cut you off. So let's keep it light when you're on this journey of trying to discover self. Self has a lot to say about you more than you have to say a lot about self. Your spirit will tell you. So it's all up to you if you want to understand where your energy comes from, where your light comes from, where your darkness comes from, where your creation comes from, where your life force begins and never ends, because you chose to be infinite, you chose to be one. And when you are one and nothing is below you or above you, it's just you in those spaces, in those time. Keep creating because you are a multiple dimensional being. You always have been and you always will be. No matter what light you're in, no matter what darkness you may face in any time, in any place, there's a version of you that already knows how to escape it. It's seen it happen before. We're just remembering how it happened, why it happened. So that the version of you can continue to create and be involved with your desires, with your reality, consciously, lucidly. We lucid every day, every night. We astral project every time, whether it's in our sleep or whether it's awakened. I can do it in my awakening. I'm halfway asleep, but half conscious while I'm asleep. Like, my eyes are fully awake, but I learned to make myself go to sleep consciously so that whatever it is that I'm focused on in my imagination or my creation, they can tend to have a timeline in my frequency. I learned that from my ancestors. they told me that this is how they travel, but there's a new generation that is coming up. Um, some are doing it now, even in the old generation, but it's like a movie. Only one country get to see the movie first before the other countries get to see it before it's already like a month or a year later or however long it takes for that person to get the download in the message. Uh, but it's not our fault. Sometimes it's hard for us to tap in and just be ourselves because we we mimic other spirits who are in their knowing, and we're trying to experience that experience, but we're creating our own path through their experience, and we're gaining more knowledge and gaining access to ourselves again because it's an evolution, not a revolution to take apart what we already know from ourselves, but to always be an agenist, to always create, not be the design. Well, yeah, you be the design, but you also be the designer. You can't cast these spirits in your reality to do the design for you. Through these spirits, you learn a design that you created through your creation that you get to experience. You get to see all the, like all of it, all the above and all the below. Operate in different frequencies when you are in different dimensions of self, only just self. Whether it's whether it's this version of you in this time or the version that you're seeing in your mind, creating a different timeline for you to go on a path. Create portals. How do we create portals? Well, we use other people energy to do things to ourselves, to kick us off, to start the spark. And they have it in their pretty little minds that, oh, I'm the dictator of your reality now, since I hurted you, since I sparked you. They spark us through pain. Yes, that's why a lot of us go through a lot of pain, because the pain is the portal, it is the spark. It is their energy that we are borrowing and taking from collectively without ourselves knowing, until we get these downloads, until we get these messages from our higher self or lower selves. There's no in between. The in between is you and the now. What you feel, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, the now. So, if I were you, I would get used to you, because the you that you created through the pain is not going anywhere. It's only going to keep creating and experiencing. So good luck.